It was such an emotional day for everyone who was there.
Definitely. Just a few hours ago, dozens gathered to say their final goodbyes as John Lewis crossed the Edmund Pettus Bridge for the last time. Tropical Storm Sally is expected to make landfall within the next few days. Community members here are already preparing, but they're making sure no one is left behind.
Jayla Whitfield is in New Orleans live for us tonight with the very latest on conditions there. Jayla?
You know, it's pretty windy here already, but hundreds have been forced to evacuate. But residents here in Slidell tell me they're going to ride this one out. Now, Hurricane Sally is expected to make landfall sometime tomorrow morning along the Alabama-Mississippi border. Yeah, it's packed here. Hundreds are awaiting the arrival of President Trump. The rally is set to begin at 7 tonight. Now, with just 2 weeks till the election, President Trump is trying to build his momentum.
Fox's Jayla Whitfield joining us live from Atlanta near that church tonight with the latest. Jayla.
Jonathan, it was a very emotional scene here today. The funeral lasted for about 3 hours. The family arrived around 1 p.m. Eastern time, dressed in all white. There's no set timetable on when residents will be able to return. They're also expecting at least 1 to 2 inches of rain over the next few days. Until there's a vaccine for COVID-19, film officials say they plan to avoid shooting large gatherings like party scenes. In Atlanta, Jayla Whitfield, Fox 5 News.
Universities in the U.S. are using technology to keep their campuses COVID-free. Fox's Jayla Whitfield joining us now live from Alabama State University to explain what this is all about. Jayla, there are no coronavirus cases there?
That's correct. Here at Alabama State University, they have no cases, and they're using new technology to help protect their students from the coronavirus pandemic.
We have no known cases of COVID on our campus.
Across the country, college campuses are struggling to combat the coronavirus, but Alabama State University is ahead of the curve.
From the very beginning, we tested all of our faculty, staff, and the student body prior to their return to campus. That was number one.
The university is using a combination of tests and technology on campus.
There's a screen right there that lets you know if you're too close to somebody, and if you're too close to somebody, it gets red, whereas if you're evenly spaced out, it's green.
The university says screening machines like this provide an extra layer of protection.
For every dollar we spend on prevention, that's that much more money saved in operating costs and other things that would be impacted if a school had to shut down.
Schmidt says other schools are doing it too.
Schools are developing their own in-house testing to be able to respond to cases, but also to do surveillance testing to better understand what's going on among their student population.
This as dozens of universities across the country are closing because of a rise in coronavirus cases. That's why Alabama State University says testing on their campus is crucial.
Now that we've got off the Labor Day holiday, we've continued those measures by testing everyone that went away.
The university says they've done 1,400 tests since the fall semester started in August.
Very confident that we will stay to the very end. So I know they're doing whatever it takes to ensure that we don't go home.
The university says they use federal funding under the CARES Act to buy the screening machines that cost about $20,000 apiece. In Montgomery, Alabama, Jayla Whitfield, Fox 9 News.
All right, Jayla, thank you.
High school bands that are still marching are working to adjust to a new normal.
And for the seniors in the bands, they're feeling the impact as they prepare for college. Fox 5's Jayla Whitfield joins us live tonight. And Jayla, band members are happy to be playing, but they do have some concerns.
You know, that's right, Courtney. High school marching band members tell me they're just thankful to be able to play their instruments during this pandemic, but they're also worried about college admissions and scholarships.
I feel so lucky.
Unlike many high school seniors, drum major Bailey gets to play in the marching band for her final year.
I would have cried a ton if we hadn't gotten to do marching band this year.
She says things have changed, but the atmosphere is better than ever before.
There's way more buy-in, there's way more responsibility, a sense of we really need to do this and we need to do it well because we know that not everybody's here.
The North Cross High School marching band has played in 3 games so far, and they're taking extra steps to stay safe.
Yeah, so the students had to report super early now, even earlier than they usually do, and they answer set questions that the county office and the health department gave to us.
Band director Lee Newman says the seniors have been leaders on the field, and they're keeping the music going.
I've realized at other games, not many of the other bands are able to play, and it makes me so appreciative of what we have here.
Nicholas and Bailey both hope to play in college, but the admission process may be different.
For many years, you know, most senior classes have always, I don't want to say necessarily taken for granted, but, you know, they have had the opportunity to go and, you know, apply for colleges and get scholarships and, you know, move into the dormitories when everything was quote unquote normal. But however, this particular class has not had the autonomy of doing that.
But recruiters say they are still searching for talented students.
Instead of us being able to go into high schools and to work with groups on a hands-on basis, a lot of that has been virtual.
Bailey is meeting with colleges virtually, but she says it's just not the same.
I'm trying to stay hopeful that next year is going to be normal. So when I go to college and I meet these people in person for the first time and I get to experience these programs, I really hope it's going to be like what they've told me over the phone and what I've seen in Zoom calls.
So far, the North Cross High School marching band says they have no known cases of the coronavirus. In Atlanta, Jayla Whitfield, Fox 5 News.
Family and friends gathered in North Carolina to bid George Floyd an emotional farewell. Floyd's life and legacy was remembered in his hometown of Rayford. Fox's Jayla Whitfield was at the public viewing as protests continue in his honor.
Hundreds gathered here today at a small church in Rayford, North Carolina, just about 20 miles from where George Floyd was born. The line was outside of the door to honor Floyd and his family. Many tell me they are hopeful for change.
Wade in the water. Hey, Wade.
El Graham was raised in the same community as George Floyd, and that's why he says it's his duty to be here.
If it can wake up this town, this is nothing. This is legitimate. This is real.
Graham was alongside hundreds of people to honor Floyd, who died after a police officer put his knee on Floyd's neck for nearly 9 minutes.
George Floyd, Sandra Bland, Mike Brown, Philando Castile, Samuel DuBose, Lakai Gurley, Dontre Hamilton.
Fernisha Briggs and her family stood outside the church with signs. She says it was too painful to see Floyd's body.
And I cried every name I wrote down because it's too many. It's too much. All these victims have died of police violence.
Kim Mincer agrees. She says she can't sit by and be quiet anymore.
It took until I heard George Floyd plead, "I can't breathe, please," for me to really see what's happening to our black community.
Since Floyd's death nearly 2 weeks ago, people have been fighting to heal the country.
I think change is going to come because masses of people have seen too many people die.
We need a change. How many more lives? How many? What I keep asking myself.
I said, wade in the water, our children.
Following this memorial, the next service for Floyd will be in Houston on Monday. In Rayford, North Carolina, Jayla Whitfield, Fox 5 News.